Sergeant Betsy Brantner Smith, retired Chicago area police officer, joins us now. She's also a National Police Association spokesperson. Thank you for joining us, Sergeant. Sergeant, we know as crime spiked. We've been talking about it quite a bit. I also noticed a few of the cities are starting to refund the police department. Great news. Glad they're doing it, but let's talk a bit. Is enough? So I'll give you an example. In New York, de Blasio took $1 billion away from NYPD, $1 billion, but he's given $200 million back. I mean, what is this for real? Is it to save his face, or is this actually to stop crime in these cities? Your thoughts?
Well, I think what's happening in a lot of these big cities is these mayors are realizing that their political futures are at stake. 70% of voters believe that crime is out of control. 90% of voters are concerned about the increase in crime. This is a poll that the National Police Association just did with Rasmussen. 60% of voters say that we don't want to defund the police and we don't want to take that money and move it over to social services like what happened in New York and Austin, Texas. Now you have mayors in Washington, D.C. and Seattle saying we need more police. But Eric, here's the thing. You could hire 500 more police officers tomorrow in Washington, D.C., for example. Those police officers will not be able to hit the street until at least a year from their date of hire. So this is it's not going to work out well. I think what they're trying to do is just say that they did something, so when the voters, who they realize are really upset about this, go to vote in 2022, that they can say, well, we tried to do something about crime. Crime is out of control, and the American people know it, and we've got to do something about it. Other than just funnel a little bit more money into police budgets. You
know, we're putting up a picture of some mayors. You can put that picture back up side by side, folks, if you want. And those are 5 of many Democrat. They're all Democrats. You need to point that out. But those are 5 Democrat mayors in some of the major cities in the U.S. who called for defunding and actually defunded their police department. And when crime rose or spiked or skyrocketed in their cities, they said, you know, let's put some money back in. I think that is forget about other people wanting to run against them. That should be the taxpayers, the citizens saying, you're wrong, there's accountability, and you should leave.
Well, you're absolutely right. But the people don't always get the information that they need to make those good voting decisions. And it's not just money, Eric, it's policy. You know, in your and my native Chicago, Lori Lightfoot has combined defunding her police department with horrible policy changes that are getting her officers hurt and killed, as we saw with Officer Ella French. So it's not just money, it's bad policy. It's also the de-prosecution that we are seeing by these radical progressive prosecutors like in Cook County, like in LA County, like in New York, where these prosecutors will not prosecute the criminals brought before them who are engaged in violent crime. So that it's a lot more than just money. But yeah, we got to start with not just refunding the police, but supporting them and having anti-crime policies, not pro-criminal policies.
You know, you're 100% right, Sergeant. We talked, I believe it was last week, to someone about a statistic that just blew us away. I'm from Chicago, as you point out, blown away. In the last 5 years, since 2016, there were some 1,000 victims of mass, I believe it was mass murders, of mass homicides. And in 5 years, there have only been 2 convictions. 2. That could be the essence of the problem.
Well, absolutely. If you don't get punished for committing violent crime, why would you stop committing it? Especially if you're making money from it and all of that. That is the problem that we have in so many of these cities, like Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Chicago, LA, New York, Washington, D.C. If there is no punishment, there's no reason to stop committing crime.
Mm-hmm. And it really is. It is a very serious concern across all these cities, not just Lightfoot in Chicago, not just de Blasio in New York, Garcetti in L.A. and others. It's when the mayor's department, when the mayor's office does not support the police. I'll never forget when de Blasio turned his back on the police departments here in New York, and they turned their back on him at one of the police officers' funerals. That is the problem. It can't be working against each other. They need to be working together. Final thought.
Here's the thing. People have got to stand up to these progressive mayors, prosecutors, and policies because it's not safe to live in large urban areas anymore. So it's going to be up to the voters and up to the citizens to put those politicians' feet to the fire and say, we want to be safe when we're out walking around, out shopping, taking our kids to school. It's going to be up to us, the American people.
You know, we're going to leave it there. Sergeant, I never understood this when you could say, you know, when Black Lives Matter and you said anything but Black Lives Matter, it was racist, even when we would say Blue Lives Matter too. Guess what? All lives matter. I'm a racist. Call me a racist for that. I know I'm not, but, you know, Blue Lives Matter. Sergeant Betsy Brantner Smith, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Eric.